All right, this is Arsenal Fan Circle. I'm very thankful 14 people are still here. It's all on me. I forgot to hit go live button. Listen, it's happened one time before, and like Arsenal, um, I hit it late. I hit it late like Arsenal. So it's all on me. We're going to remember what we said in the last 4 or 5 minutes. Right?
Gary, can you teach him how to do it properly, please?
Yeah, I'll teach him. He's a rookie. He's a rookie at this thing.
I've been doing this longer than Gary, but not as well as Gary.
We're sitting there like enjoying the show. Next thing we know, Ray's like, "Uh-oh."
Yeah, listen.
Let me hit that red button that says we're live.
So we're going to speed this up. I'm going to speak really fast. Welcome, everyone. It's the Sunday Show, Season 1, Season 5, Episode 1. Welcome to Gary, Tony, Matt, who are regulars here. You will have seen them all before. Des is a debutant. We've seen him on Cannon Fodder TV, and he's making his debut with Arsenal Fan Circle. Thank you, everybody, for still being here and being patient. Des, you're a debutant, so do tell us what you said 5 minutes ago.
Right, okay. For those who didn't hear it the first time, I started watching Arsenal in 1979 at the Dell in Southampton. We beat Southampton 1-0. My dad said before the game, who are you going to support? I was only 7 years old. Basically, I said I'll support whoever wins this game, and it was Arsenal winning it 1-0 on New Year's Day. And I've followed Arsenal ever since. There we go. Thank you very much.
Brilliant. I think we've done like 5 minutes worth of what we didn't have live in 2 minutes here. So
you got to talk about Des, your how me and you met and Glenn.
Yeah. Sorry, I forgot all that. Me and Gary met on Cannon Fodder TV. We have previous history in a good way. We want to clear that up straight away before anybody gets upset.
You said that 5 minutes ago. Well,
yeah. We've also met tonight, and it's been like a reunion.
Oh man.
Okay, listen, that's all brilliant. Des, 5 minutes ago, maybe 3 minutes ago, you were talking about your thoughts on Friday night's game as well. So let's get into that.
Okay, so first 20 minutes, I was very impressed. We played like Brazil. There was lots of nice passing, lots of forward passing, like the old Arsenal. Zinchenko played well. Saliba obviously really, really played well. Jesus could have had goal of the season on the first day. If he'd have got past those three guys and put it in the back of the net, that would have been goal of the season. Give him the trophy right here, right now. Praise be to God, And basically, Ramsdale made a few mistakes, which are goalkeeper errors. But I used to be a keeper, so I can appreciate he's going to make mistakes. Yeah. But second half, we were a little bit flat, but we picked up near the end and we won 2-0. So, for those who say they want a better performance, we gave a good performance 2-0. What more do you want?
Yeah. A little bit of feedback on somebody's instruments there. So let's take a look at that. But yeah, we're caught up to where we were at the point where I said I forgot to go live. So the only thing you did say was slightly irritated by those fans who want more. We got to win, right? It was something like that. And then I was about to tell you, well, we'll probably definitely all have 5 different viewpoints on Friday night's game. And that's just the way it is. Everybody has their opinion, and they're entitled to it, especially Tony. And he won't budge from his opinion. But regulars know this thing. Des might have some syncing up to do with Tony. I don't know if you podcasted with Tony before.
I think it's going to be a challenge, isn't it, Tony? Let's be honest.
Yeah. All right, let's get to Gary and his thoughts as well on the game, and then I'll have some words, and then Matt and Tony. Gary.
Yes. So like you said, it's start off the season really well. The Arsenal haters and the football scheduling gods were against us again. All right. They saw what happened last season. They said, let's try this one more time, see if it clicks. It didn't click. We know all of our fans knew we had to win this one just to get off on a good foot, but also to revenge the last time we played Crystal Palace. Mm-hmm. That was a poor showing that we had last time, but this one I think was much better. We got the 3 points. We scored 2 goals. We had a clean sheet. So if you look at the score sheet, you're happy. Now, if you have concerns, it's some of the same ones we've had before, but we're hoping we're learning. that first 20 minutes, like you said, Jesus to me basically showed, kind of how we can come off fast like we've done in the past, but now we are more of a threat. I think early, if we come out like that, and we had opportunities to probably score early too, which I hope those things happen sooner than later. But we definitely put ourselves in good position to score. Had we scored early, I think this game we would run away with it. Afterwards, the other team is going to come back. They are Crystal Palace. They do get coached well, and that's what we saw after the 20-minute period. And for a little bit too long for my liking, I would have liked to feel like we had a little bit more control of that part of the game when after we had scored. But we were able to hold on. We gave ourselves opportunities. I think Jesus is definitely bringing his experience and his he's going to have some expectations of his teammates, which I don't think we've had before.
Yes.
If he puts a ball on a plate for you, you got to at least get it between the sticks, right? Make the goalkeeper make a really good play on it. So I think we saw that a couple times during the game, and I think that's something new we hadn't seen before. Definitely from a striker or somebody sitting up top for us. So I think that's going to be a plus going down the road. Like you said, Saliba and Gabriel, I don't know, we're not changing them, right? I think they are our center backs right now. I have no reason to believe we need to change that pairing. They're only going to get better. Saliba, I think he went to the ground a little bit too much for me, but that's a learning experience that he's going to have in this league, because other players, will take advantage of that if he does that too often. But I think as a whole, standing up on their feet, I think they're really good, and they showed that. Even when Crystal Palace had opportunities, they came in and they closed things out, so that was really good. The concerns I have are the same ones we had before. Our depth.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Can I just say? Oh, sorry, Gary. I thought you finished. Yeah. I apologize. Carry on.
No, I was just going to say our depth is kind of has always been my concern. And yes, we have some cover at fullbacks, but I don't want those to be our long. I'd rather have them go back to where they're really suited for me, and have some players that are more familiar with those positions. It's good to have I don't mind having a third option as a White or a Zinchenko, but I'd rather have that be the case, not them be our second.
Tomiyasu played 45 minutes yesterday, so he'll be back soon.
Let me finish what I gotta say, dude.
He's just adding to your conversation.
He doesn't even know where I'm going with it.
He's helping you. He's helping you, guys.
As you can see, it's the season. It's the first episode, and Tony is on.
It's a new season, same Tony.
Nothing's
changed. Would you like your name,
he likes to talk when I talk, and then gets upset when I talk when he talks. So
yes, listen, Gary and Tony, we're gonna
change.
ship your names. If you talk over each other, we're gonna start shipping your names pretty soon. You know what that means.
Well, we'll have a lot more to talk about, but that's kind of my first. And I'll take the three. I love the game. We got the result that we wanted, which is what I'm going to go with first. We got some scoring. At some point, we will score their feet. But I'll take the 2 goals. Right, we got a clean sheet, so they didn't hit our net. They didn't hit the net, so we'll take it any day. So come on, you Gunners, let's do this. One more. We got to do it again next week.
Yeah. 37 more times. Is that what you were going to say?
Well, I always say we have a chance to win all 38 games. Is whether or not you can put it together, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Right.
Can I just say one thing before you go to one of the 2 guys? Mm-hmm. Fair play to Ben White, because he kept Zaha in his pocket all game.
Yeah.
I forgot to say that. Sorry.
Don't worry, Des. We were definitely going to talk about Des White today.
I was saving it because
sorry, guys. I apologize.
No. You're good.
There's plenty of Arsenal to go around, the 5 of us here. Des, who would you have supported if Arsenal and Southampton drew that game?
Oh, they did. Yes, sorry. What would I do if they drew? Oh, the game. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yes. I don't actually know. I don't think I would have picked anybody. I would have walked away until next time.
I always think, as Gary said, I always think result first, then performance, and so you would have judged on the performance, right?
I'm performance first. Remember?
Huh?
I'm performance first.
No, you just said you're happy with the result.
I'm happy with the result, yes, but if you ask me in general, I am performance first. I'll take.
Okay.
And that's
I'll
why
take the points first, and then I'll go with the performance. I'd rather be sitting on 3 points, not 1, and haven't played well.
Yeah.
You know, Matt.
Yeah, hi everyone.
Great
to see everyone on the panel, and hi to Des. Thanks for joining us. It's great to see you.
Hello, mate. Good to be here. Thank you very much.
But yeah, no, I'm really pleased with the 3 points. I think Palace are a tough team. Let's not take anything away from them. I think they're going to cause a lot of teams a lot of problems this season. You know, big physical side. They didn't really come into the game until a bit later on, but they did cause us problems. Like you say, the first 20 minutes, half an hour, we were fantastic. Really good football. It wasn't the slow start that sometimes we've all been frustrated by. So that was great to see. You know, we weren't, a slow burner. We were straight in. Really good performances, like it's already been said, from Saliba, Zinchenko, Jesus. Everyone was on it. I thought Ben White actually, like you say, did very well. Kind of out of position, so to speak. I thought we were a little bit better when Kieran Tierney came on second half. I thought defensively he was probably a little bit better and kind of stabilised us a little bit because we were under a little bit of pressure. But do you know what? 2 goals, clean sheet. I like Des, I'm very happy with that. To go away from home, first game of the season after a great pre-season, the pressure's on. No matter what anyone says, the pressure will have been on after last season and those first 3 games. That would have been quite nervy for the players as well. They would have wanted to really go out and actually get 3 points. That would have been a big thing for them. And you could have imagined how they would have felt maybe if that hadn't gone our way. You start thinking, is this not going our way again? So really, really good. Great to get 3 points on the board. Like I say, you look around us now this weekend and you see like the likes of United losing. But I thought we had some really solid performances. Like I say, the goals were a bit scrappy, but we'll take them. We'll absolutely take them. It doesn't matter how they go in, as long as they're in the back of the net, it doesn't matter. So, yeah, and Saliba, absolute monster.
Yep.
What a player. That's the first time I've really seen him play properly and was very, very impressed.
Yep.
Really impressed. But we just look a lot more fluid. You can see the passes zipping about much better. We're at much better movement. We don't have that kind of static kind of feeling when you get to the final third. You haven't got a Lacquer or someone like that kind of stalling play a little bit because they've got no mobility. We can actually push through the lines and actually get going. So, yeah, really positive, I think. Really positive. Positive.
Yeah, no clumps of oil in the gears to slow things up. As Alan said here, can the current Arsenal side eclipse the Invincibles of the past? I'm afraid not.
Not yet.
I think I've come to terms with the fact that I've seen the best Arsenal side that I'm ever going to see. We may win leagues. We may win, hopefully, a Champions League. But I think I've seen the best Arsenal side.
Let's face it, that side, Ray, was full of... it wasn't just 1 or 2 world-class players. That was pretty much a world-class player in every position, The chance of getting that kind of side again is just, it's very rare. It's very rare to get the talents like, a Vieira or a Bergkamp or someone like that, one in a team. But to have a generation of a side that had, 11 of those or more, it's just so unlikely to happen. It's phenomenal. So it's nothing on this side if they don't get anywhere near it, because that team was just levels above any team Premier League history. Really.
Another thing that's phenomenal is all of you out there in the chat box. So too many to start naming, but I'd leave one out if I did start naming as well. But Tony, we can't leave you out. Last 10 seasons, as much as we try, we can't leave you out. 5 wins and 5 losses. Just kidding.
I don't feel that way, Tony.
Where'd you get that stat at, Ray?
That was a really nice stat. 5 wins and 5 losses out of the last 10 season openers, Tony. And we got one of those W's.
Yep. Got 3 points. Like Gary said, come out strong the first 25, 30 minutes. And after that, took foot off the gas. But you can't say that to Ray. You definitely can't put up a deal of our attacking, and that correlates to the first 30 minutes throughout the whole game. Then a little blip near the end.
All right, I've prepared for this moment. I've prepared for this moment, Tony. I did my due diligence. Here's a stat for you.
For like 4 hours.
Well, here's a stat for you. in the springtime, we lost to Crystal Palace 3-0.
I know we did, right?
And Crystal Palace had
What was that after? An international break. What was the earlier game after international break?
I'm just saying, games
We weren't
look different. Mikel Arteta has gone into the press conference and said we need to be better, we need to do better. We have to have the efficiency to improve in front of goal. We missed chances that Gary's prefaced, especially Ødegaard. We're going to talk about Ødegaard. Why you can't take that shot?
I don't know what happened with that.
He doesn't take. That's the only thing I will say against Ødegaard as possibly fanboy, one of his biggest fans. He doesn't take his shot quick enough.
Yeah. And when the opportunity's there, we all saw that freeze frame. The defender's a yard away from him. He's got a right foot.
Yeah.
Just swing a peg at it. You know what I mean?
Have a go, mate. Have a go. Put it through the back of the onion bag. You know what I mean?
Tony, in the springtime, Palace beat us 3-0 on 30% of possession. We won on Friday with 40% of possession. We didn't win the possession game on Friday.
We were winning it in the first half. We had almost 70% in the first half. That's to show
we did.
How poorly we did after that 20-minute period. We kind of dipped. So I hear what you're saying, but that's why I believe part of Arteta's second part of his initial
problem.
Part of his second statement was we have a lot of work to do still, and I think that's the kind of work that I think the finishing, yes, but also being able to absorb what what other team's going to bring, but also be able to impose your will, right? And that's kind of what I know they can do. We didn't see it as much as I would like, but I know we've got it in there because we showed it in the first 20 minutes. So, I mean, if you watch the games, it was almost like a case where the first 30 minutes we were playing on their side, and then for like the next 30, 40 minutes, they were playing on our side. And I know we can do better than that. If we're striving for top 4, we need to be able to do that a lot more, right? So that's
I don't like the pink kit. I don't like the pink kit, by the way.
I like it.
No, I don't. It wouldn't be my first choice, but I don't think it's as bad as I thought it would be.
Ray apparently doesn't like it. He ran off on us.
When we were moving around the pitch, it looked like something that should be in a petri dish. Do you know what I mean? It was. No, it doesn't. They should have worn this one. It doesn't do nothing for me, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think my partner said it looked like someone had put whites in the wash and put a red sock in.
That red sock.
Yeah. Listen, I think they do this when there's a new kit coming out and it's not selling. Look at the one, Des, that you're wearing. That's
beautiful
class.
shirt. That is. Yeah.
That's killer or whatever.
I think it's the best shirt they've brought out.
The Adidas logo on it.
It's the best shirt they've brought out in years. I'll tell you that now.
I think I know what happened. I think I know what happened.
So again, Gary?
They spent all that money on the black tops, and they had to take a discount, right? And what's not selling in the marketplace right now? Pink. All right, we're gonna go full pink. And I think a lot of people will buy pink because it's Arsenal, right? So
they always release it right before the season starts.
So whatever.
All right, Tony. Before we get into
can
more,
I finish my thoughts of the game?
Ask Gary.
I don't know. Should I let him? I think
let him start, Gary, and then interrupt.
Okay, thank you.
First, before you do that, Tony, you have to tell us what we practiced before we went live. What does your shirt say?
I can't remember the bottom part.
Tony, I've got a question. Are you going to actually say anything different to what the three of us have already said?
Yes, you will.
Oh my God! I want to hear this. I want to hear this.
Every topic.
Even if he doesn't believe it, he's going to go with it. Come on. Tony likes us to go back and forth. So here we go.
The floor is yours, Tony. Baffle us.
Okay. I like what Zinchenko is doing. Hated seeing our new striker in number 34. He was up ahead of Jesus half the freaking game. Why is he up there? I don't know why.
34 is Granit Xhaka.
Can't play on the left side.
That's right.
34 is Granit Xhaka.
Tony, I'll tell you why. Very simplistic, mate. Zinchenko going forward gives Xhaka the freedom to go forward. So he's basically gone, I've got a chance here to go forward. I'm not saying it's going to work, right? But he's basically saying, I've got a chance here to go forward, so I'm going to take it. because Zinchenko pushed him forward. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah,
That's why he was up
He's
there all
been
the time.
going forward though. Even last
That's why he
season,
was up there all the time.
when I made that change, that formation, he's been going. But I like him, like Saliba and Gabriel back there together. Ramsdale looked shaky at times. Then you get at halftime. Vieira made the changes, started doing long balls, going over White and Zinchenko. That's one of the big reasons we've seen Tierney come on, because the ball could just go on over that side. Had to make a change. This game could have easily been 1-1 or 1-0.
Yeah.
Or if it wasn't for the header, 0-0. I'm just tired of a trend of us playing for 30 minutes and not playing entirely.
This game definitely could have been 1-1. It could have been, your goalkeeper is there to save you points throughout the season, and Ramsdale came up big on 2 key occasions.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
Probably the only opportunities that Crystal Palace had.
Could have been 1-1, but it could have been 3-0 Arsenal.
Yes.
Yeah, true. It could have been, Gary. It could have been
Early too, the way we were playing. So
it's in my notes.
There's a lot of ifs, but we can only. I like to talk about what I saw.
And reality, right?
What I saw on the pitch.
If we lived on if buts and maybes, we'd all be having a different conversation, wouldn't we?
Yeah.
Well, look at the team we'd have if we'd had if buts and maybes on Wenger's potential signings alone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Exactly.
Tommy, Ryan wants to know what's your thoughts on Saliba's future now.
It's been the same as it is. I still think he'd been out the door if Tomiyasu wasn't out. I still believe it. But that gives him a spot out there. He wanted guaranteed minutes. It's been out there. I don't think he would have been staying if there wasn't an open spot.
We'll find out soon enough, because Tomiyasu needs to get healthy, and I would like to see him out there sooner than later. So
what is confident to me is that Arteta's recognized he's got Saliba as a central defender, and he's using him as a central defender. He's probably telling us that he prefers Ben White, which I doubted, frankly, that he would use Saliba over Ben White in that right central defensive position. And
can I ask a question about that? Do you think that even though we paid £50 million for Ben White, okay, and he's meant to be a central defender, do you think this will force him into being a team player? So because of being on the right side, do you think it's going to make him like he's not going to mind if he doesn't play or if he does? I'm probably not using the right words, but
I think there's going to be games where Ben White will play right back, and there's going to be games where Ben White will play right central defender.
Yeah,
Saliba will rest. If you have 3 or 4 good defenders, why not rotate them?
I agree.
As you might recognize your opposition coming up. If you've got a big player like Erling Haaland or Darwin Núñez, Saliba's got to play against teams.
I agree.
I don't like switching the center backs.
Well,
really
it's okay. You don't have to
switch
like
the
everything.
fullbacks. I don't like switching, but
you need to rotate your squad, though. Regardless of regardless of whatever you think, every team has to rotate their squad. They're not playing the same 11 for all 60 games in a season.
This is what he complained about.
Look at City, right? And I've been saying rotation. So I'm okay, and that's why I really want more fullbacks so that I can push White and have him rotate as a center back. Not he's going to go back and forth, because he can't do that either. Because now you're spreading yourself thin with coverage on both spots. So for me, we need the depth so we can go 2 deep easy, right? On every position, we need to be able to go 2 deep and have an answer. When Arteta looks at his bench, it doesn't matter where in the pitch he needs to make a change. He can make that change. Right now, he doesn't have that option. He has to pick and choose whether or not he's going to bring somebody in because of whatever the next game, or whether or not it's going to weaken us because it's going to put somebody out of position.
Yes, Des.
Well, I said it on Friday, guys. What I'm liking about this team now at the moment with the people that we've brought in, I can only reiterate what I've already said, but it's true. What I like about this is we haven't got players now that are replacements for such and such. Yeah, they're competition for such and such.
Yes.
So if you've got competition, both players up their game because they want to play. So, for example, if we use Zinchenko and Tierney as an example, okay? I know Tierney isn't 100% fit, but when he is, yeah? If Zinchenko's playing, you've basically got to turn around to Tierney and say, right, if you want to play, son, you've got to up your game.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I think we're going to get that in the midfield at some point as well. But I would say I do like when Tomiyasu's fit, when Tierney's fit, our back four is going to be solid, and we're going to have options. Yeah. And I agree with Gary. You need to rotate because of burnout. We burned out Saka last season, Emil Smith-Rowe last season, because we depended on them too much. Mm-hmm. We need to be able to rotate in every position of the field, just in case. Yeah. Because I always hear Tony say, if we lose Jesus, that's it. We're scuppered. We're messed up. Sorry, that's a UK thing. You would know that, wouldn't you, mate?
Okay, it's scuppered.
We're messed up. It messes up Arsenal, yeah? But the thing is, you've got to be behind the team. And sorry, Tony, but I'm not just picking on you. Well, actually, I am, but I'm still sorry. But you've got to let the lad be injured before you preempt him being injured. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So be positive about it. And as I said on Cannon Fodder, and it's true, there are going to be players that are going to try and injure Jesus, but they're actually going to injure themselves trying to injure Jesus.
Yeah.
So, because he's too good.
I'm starting to see why you're getting the nickname the Enforcer. That's
why is that, right? Why is that?
You just enforced.
Why is that? Why he drinks from his pink water bottle?
Real men drink from pink water bottles, Gary.
Real men wear pink.
Real men drink from pink water bottles. All right.
Tony, got a quick question for you, and then I'm going to go to Matt. Don Juan asked, "Can Ben White play in midfield in front of the back four? Possibly."
Nah.
I don't think so either. I think only in a break glass emergency type of situation will we see that.
Yeah, I don't think we'll see it unless Partey goes out. He might be tried there, but I don't think he'll be tried there.
Yeah.
Well, he's got the ability. Didn't he play there at Brighton previously for a little bit? I'm sure he's played in that position previously at some point in his career.
Yeah, but that's it right there in his career. But
like I say, for us, it's not a position we'd want to see him in unless it's an absolute emergency. But I think technically he probably could. He can carry the ball well. He can make tackles. So I think he would have all the raw ingredients to actually make quite a good player in that position. But for what we've spent the money on him for, would we want to see him playing there? No.
Right.
No. But at an emergency, I think he probably could be moulded to. Because
he's
got the ingredients.
Let's have our points made, and then if you want to come back, jump in. Gary, did you have something to say?
No, I just want to say I think their number one positions, that's where they should go. Yeah. And that's why you need depth, right? That's why you have 25 players. Mm-hmm. I don't think we're at the point where we have 25 players for the squad. So there is room for us to fill those spots. Maybe we don't fill them all today, but we need to fill them sooner than later. We've had we spent a lot of money and we still have big gaps in terms of what I think we should have. So we'll see. Yeah. We
all do love Tony here. He does truly enlighten our Sunday evenings. And you know what he told me today? The Don Juan could be controversial. I'm thinking if there's not an easier slam dunk of a Don Juan today,
definitely would be controversial.
Okay. That means you're not picking Saliba, but wait, we'll get there. Xhaka's ways stopped working. So Matt, the value of Gabriel Jesus cannot be understated. Some people will overlook. You can't not overlook what he did, right? Because he hustled to give Odegaard that chance. And for me, let's not forget, he created that corner that the first goal came from.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he works hard. He's got great feet. He's almost got, not saying he's at the level of Messi, but obviously you look at Messi and his ability to get out of tight spaces, nip past the player, get out of that difficult spot, and create space for others to move into or go towards goal and be positive. He's brilliant at that. You know, there's some of those turns and some of the spots he got out of was really quite impressive, to be honest. And I think he's going to be absolutely instrumental for us going forwards, not just from scoring goals, but from creating opportunities as well. Because he did so much, and particularly in that first kind of 20 minutes and getting involved and getting forwards and creating. I think it's brilliant. And like I say, he works so hard. And we've missed that movement. We haven't really had a player like that. You know, Aubameyang just dropped off completely. You know, he was our player with a bit of pace who could get behind the lines, you know, be ready to receive a ball and use his pace. But once he dropped off and, you know, he wasn't, I thought he became very lazy. You know, Lacazette didn't have that pace and mobility. We lost that option up top. We didn't have that mobility. So we just get stifled because you'd have the Saka and Emil Smith-Rowe's, Odegaard's go in there, getting the opportunity to put a ball through, and there was nobody really there who could run behind and actually take a player on or actually go forwards and put the ball in the back of the net. So it's great to have him there. Like I say, it's a really key thing to keep him fit. That's going to be the key because obviously, you know, do I think an Nketiah is great. I think it's going to be a big season for him as well. I think he did well at the end of last season, but I think we will miss something if we don't have Jesus. I think he's kind of like that final piece of the jigsaw for us up top, and I think it's very exciting to have him there. And he's going to cause people a lot of problems. So I just hope, like I say, touch wood, we can keep him fit. But what a player! And like I say, for the money we got him for, I think it's a bargain. You look around.
Zinchenko was a bargain as well, 30 million.
100% agree. Yeah, 100% agree. We did such good business with those two players. And really, really good buys as well. Yeah, I really agree.
Gary, Gabriel Jesus, physicality, it's going to be a little bit tough for him through the season. Eddie Nketiah came on with 10 minutes ago. We might need some more minutes for Eddie to relieve Gabriel Jesus of the workload. And substitutions are something that are going to be a thing throughout the season now. I did look at the substitutions of all the other teams as well. And largely, a lot of it was due to a team that either is ahead, they used a lot of these 5 substitutions for time wasting, running the clock down, or if you're chasing the game, you're going to have a majority of substitutions. Looking at other teams, that seems to be the pattern this weekend. But Arteta is going to need to manage the minutes of Gabriel Jesus, especially. Gary.
What about Saka?
Gary.
Go ahead, Gary. Speak.
Go ahead, Gary.
I was commenting before he went to Gary.
Gary, your voice has changed. Gary, your voice has changed.
Go on, Gary.
Go ahead. You can talk, Gary.
All right. Let me speak. Yeah, no, Jesus.
I thought you did all the speaking Thursday, so your time was.
You know, I can talk every day. Come on, stop that.
Yeah. Gary, wake up talking.
You know, I never used to be that way. I don't know. I think I like talking sport, and this is sport, so this is good. No, Jesus. No, the less I see him on the ground, the happier I will be. That's when I'll know. For me, that's going to be my telling sign whether or not he's going to last. Because when he gets knocked to the ground, just like Tierney, the more you see Tierney on the ground, the higher the risk is that eventually he will get hurt. And we see it all the time. So for him, not necessarily he needs to stay up because he needs to get himself out of those situations. A lot of times I think he sits in there unless these guys run him down. But otherwise, I think he's been really good, and he's shown what Arteta wants. If that's what Arteta wants, then we've seen it. And Nketiah has still a lot of room to improve to get to that spot. But now he sees it on a daily basis. What a number 9 does for Arteta's football team. You know what I mean? I mean, he's definitely out there, and like I said, he's communicating with his play, but also when he sees something he doesn't like, you can see it on his face. So I think that's going to be a plus. The team's going to know what he expects out of them. So I'm looking forward to seeing more of him. I mean, I wish he would have scored yesterday, but I think having him out there set us on our way and allowed us to do the things that we do, and hopefully instill some of those kind of killer mentality when you have the ball. Because I think, like you said, Martinelli, Saka and Erdegaard, they need to know that, guess what? Just having the ball is a good thing, but I'd rather have you shoot it when the time comes, especially when it's right. I mean, today we saw it. We saw the last goal of this, of the first weekend from Harland, right? There's a ball wide open space. The first touch score, right? He gets his footwork prepped, and by the time he shoots it, the goalkeeper doesn't have a chance. Similar situation we saw on Friday. Erdegaard has a lot of space in front of him, multiple touches, and basically he gets crowded out by the defenders as opposed to just taking that shot. Because I know he can take it from distance. We let him take the free kicks. All of them are outside the box. So I know once he gets his feet right and just takes that shot, he's going to score a lot more, and he's getting opportunities to do it. So yeah. That's kind of what I think you're going to see. That's what Jesus brings to it. I think Zinchenko to some degree as well. So, we'll see what happens if Zinchenko moves up to the midfield if Tomiyasu's healthy. I think many think Tomiyasu's still got a couple weeks before he's actually going to come into the starting lineup anyways. So, but, I'm looking for that. That would probably be fine because that's when we start picking up midweek games and stuff like that. So we still have enough time to get those guys healthy.
Craig, you said for me, Arteta doesn't have a plan B, C, or even D. I'd love to get an Ivan Toney. We saw what he could do today.
We saw a B because we have White and we have Zinchenko. That's our plan B right now.
With that statement because
I was just going to say, so that's part of it, and that's what we're looking for, right? We need versatility, but for me, I'd rather have an actual right back or left back that can take the spot. But we've seen that maybe as a plan C, but we're seeing he has alternatives to what he wants to do.
Yeah. I think attacking wise, when people say plan B, C, or D, I think it's attacking wise, and you need another kind of physical forward.
We have got a plan B. Guys.
I'm all ears. I'm listening.
Right. Gary, you may agree with this, my friend. Yeah? We've got a plan B, but we haven't seen him play yet. Okay? And if we get Gakpo and we get, who's the other one? Oh, Tielemans. Hey, let's talk about Tielemans for 10 seconds. If we get Gakpo and Tielemans, there's your plan. There's your plan.
Makes Tony smile.
Excited. He'd say,
Tony happy.
But plan B is Fabio Vieira and Tielemans and Gakpo. Yeah? Because Fabio Vieira, let me break it down for you, lads, what I've looked into. I've done a little bit of research, okay? Odegaard, if you notice, all of his play goes down the middle. Yeah? Even when he's trying to assist, he always goes down the middle. Well, Fabio Vieira comes in from the sides. So that automatically gives you a second. Hold on, Tony, let me just finish. That automatically gives you a second style of attack. Yeah? This is how we've got to look at it now. We've got to play the channels. We've got to play the channels and play it up the middle when you've got the space. But when Fabio Vieira is there, he will come in from whatever side you put him on, and there's your second style of attack. So there is your plan B. I'm just answering that question that was saying that we haven't got a plan B, C, or D. We actually have got a plan B. We just haven't been able to implement it yet. Yeah. So that's what I think about it, and I think you'll notice a difference when we are flipping Odegaard and Vieira in the different sort of style that they've both got. Okay?
Yeah. Tony has 24 hours to make nice to Gary because, Tony, Gary will punish you for this tomorrow on the trip. Tony's not that kid who's being bad. He knows he can be bad wait till I get you home.
You don't think Vieira's going to be the option on the left? You don't think he's going to be playing where Zaka is?
No.
That's where you don't think he. Then who's going to be playing there?
I hope somebody else is
Jack is the B player at the moment. If you put
there?
But hold on, Tony. If you put Fabio Vieira there, he's better than Xhaka. That's why I'm calling Xhaka a B player. Yeah. If you put Fabio Vieira there, right, Xhaka is your B player.
Be there? Is that who
Say again?
So you think Zinchenko's going to be playing that role?
Zinchenko is a backup in the respect of he's a defender who likes to come forward. He's not. He's got his own position, but he doesn't mind coming forward, and that's what you want. You wanted that from Tierney. Tierney used to come forward. Yeah, play your channels, Tony. Play your channels, and then you get your balls into the area, and then hopefully, and this is where we were going wrong last season. You'll all agree with me, guys. Right? We were getting down to the bottom of the pitch, and there was no one for the crosses. Absolutely no one for the crosses. But now we've got. Who have we got? I forgot. Don't worry, I know. We've got Jesus. We've got Jesus who can head a ball but also kick it into the back of the net. We've got other players who, we will get to those crosses now. That's it. It's as simple as it's not rocket science. I'm not trying to take off and land on a different planet. Sometimes you need to simplify football because that's when you get the best out of it. Don't overcomplicate something that,
I think we've got flexibility in pretty much everywhere other than up top. I think clearly Arteta and Edu have looked at, our transfers. We've clearly gone for players who are very versatile. We've got options pretty much everywhere on the pitch for a plan B if we want to, other than having a tall, strong, physical centre forward. So I think that's the only area where I think we're lacking in a plan B. I think one of the big problems that we have in terms of using a plan B tactically or using other players is that we don't bring on subs early enough. And it seems that he's quite reluctant to use a plan B earlier than the 80th minute or 85th minute. So we've got like you guys have said, we've got the options there. We've got versatile players. We've got, we have got a bit of depth now, apart from up top with a target man type player. But we just don't tend to use our alternatives until about the 85th minute.
Yeah, exactly. I think the best way to preview this game is let's go through the team, and we'll start with Ramsdale, and we'll do it as quickly as possible, right? As Des said, I'll start off and we'll go clockwise. As Des said, Ramsdale, a couple of Pickford moments for me, that Everton keeper that he's competing with for the World Cup spot. But a couple of crazy distribution things from him. But he essentially saved 2 goals for us. So I've got to give Ramsdale props for that. And but for him, we don't have a clean sheet. Des, what have you got on Ramsdale?
I totally agree with what you've just said. I don't need to add to it. I don't need to take anything away from it. That's it in a nutshell.
Gary?
Yeah, he did. I mean, he was good, but I think some people said after that Pickford moment, that's kind of right. It's kind of started that whole decline in the way that we were controlling the game, right? So, I mean, we saw a couple long balls from go like 10 feet in the air and stuff like that. And that's when he's struggling a little bit in the game. But, he's done, I like you said, that one-on-one with Eze was really sweet, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was really, really good. We definitely saved that one, and the header off the line. He cleared. Clearing that one was really good. So I think we have to understand, right? He's going to have good and bad days. Still, he's still learning, which is part and parcel for a lot of the squad. They all have the talent, but we're going to see some blips, and we're going to have to. Hopefully, they don't cause us to miss. They're not all at the same time. Hopefully, that's the case, and we can redeem ourselves if they do fall.
Yeah. Your goalkeeper's going to save you points, Matt, throughout the season. People say this. And he saved us some points in the first game.
Yeah, like I say, I think when you're playing out from the back, you're expecting a goalkeeper to kind of dig in with distribution. You're always going to have those ropey moments, which kind of put your heart in your mouth a little bit, because usually, years gone past, he'd just boot the ball upfield and lump it. But, we're expecting, a goalkeeper now to be, playing at his feet a little bit more, and you're going to get those moments. I think he's a fantastic goalkeeper. Like I say, he's young. He's going to make mistakes. Like I say, he made some important saves, and we've seen what he's capable of last year. He's, the amount of worldies he pulled off last season, and points he kind of kept us in with was fantastic. So, yeah, I've not really got any worries. I think, like I say, there'll just be a little bit of keep your cool, keep your head, be sensible, don't do anything too silly. He'll learn. But like I say, a couple of fantastic saves, and like I say, if it wasn't for him, we could well have been looking at a draw. So did okay. Just needs to use his brain a little bit, I think, in certain situations, and just not put himself under so much pressure. But yeah, happy with him.
Helen, thanks for joining us. Yes, we shouldn't have played "You Never Walk Alone" at the training pitch, and I hope Arteta learns from that. You don't want to give any ammunition to your rivals about this kind of stuff. Just play crowd noise.
But do you know what? I don't agree with that. I think. Do you know what? A good coach and a good leader is open to trying new things, not being afraid to have the piss taken out of you because you tried something different.
Well,
You'll never
noise,
get
generic crowd noise I'm fine with, but a specific anthem of another team.
But why not? You've got to, if you're going to do that, you've got to make it as realistic as you can possibly make it.
They don't play that for the entire game. They don't play that
Yeah.
song for the entire game. So how is it actually
No, they don't,
distracting to the players? That's
Well,
like
let's
saying the only thing that's distracting is just cheering and the cheers that they have.
Let's not get bogged down.
No, but if you bring it up, let's have a conversation,
the
right?
atmosphere that gets created.
No, you brought it up, so let's have a conversation.
Gary,
I just think, look, those things, guys, can either be. If he'd have won that game, people would be right now praising him for that and saying that was fantastic. What a great idea. Yeah, we lost the game, but it wasn't down to that training element. You know, you're just trying to get as much of an edge and as much of any little thing you can do for your team to prepare them. They're young. A lot of them have never played there before. It's not a bad idea. You know, it would be different if a lot of these players had played at Anfield under that kind of pressure against that kind of atmosphere and they'd been there, done it, then yeah, it would be a bit of a silly idea. But I don't actually think in principle that idea was a bad one. It just looked funny when you look at it on a video, and I laughed. But in reality, the idea actually isn't a bad one. I think I'm quite glad that we've got a coach who's actually a bit forward thinking. You know, why not try those things? They'll either work or they won't, but at least he's looking for any edge he can get.
I'm sorry I mentioned it. I didn't want to go down that alley, and we're going to get out. We're going to get out of that cul-de-sac. We're going to get out of there.
See what Tony thought of Ramsdale.
Get out of the fire and into the frying pan with Tony. So Tony, goalkeeper.
I wasn't give him the down one of the game because he made 2 saves. If it wasn't for that, we wouldn't have got the 3 points. But he was kind of sloppy early on. Wasn't as good as you want to see him. Hopefully he does better than he did the second half of last season, especially the last 11 games. No clean sheets. Nice to start with a clean sheet. But overall, he didn't have a great game. But he did have impact, even though he wasn't that great.
We're going to try and pick up the pace a little bit as we go into this. Ben White, I thought he stopped Zaha, their most dangerous player. He paid for it. He's always going to get a yellow card at some point in the game against Zaha because he's just so tricky. But to have one of our 3 center backs be able to do that we can rely on, you know, is a good thing as well. So Ben White did a decent job at right back in what may be an uncomfortable position and against the most fouled winger, the trickiest winger in the league, I would say, in Wilfried Zaha. Des and White.
Yeah, I think he did really, really well considering it was Zaha. I mean, they were saying that Zaha was going to skin him all game long, and he didn't. So you can't knock the lad for that. And I mean, it would if Saliba wasn't on the pitch, it would have been possible man of the match material. But Saliba was, so there you go. But other than that, yeah, very well done in a position that he doesn't normally play. So you can't knock the lad.
Yeah. Gary, Ben White.
Yeah, as I said, I don't want White or Zinchenko playing fullbacks for me long term, but because of some of the things that I saw in the game. Yes, he did well against Zaha for some of the game, but then the times when he didn't, Saka had to come back and support him, which it's going to be part of the game. Saliba also had to come in and clear up when he got turned a couple of times. I got multiple times I think that happened. So yeah, that's why I'm like, he might be able to play the position, but shitty is the question. When we're in dire straits, I get it, but I prefer not to because we saw what happened. They just basically decided at one point, you know what, we're just going to bypass the midfield and hit it long. out to Zaha all game, and
Would you be
he always had space to get the ball and attack White. I mean, that's
question?
yeah.
Question: Would you be happy with White playing when Tomiyasu can't in that position?
No, like I said, I'd rather him be our C option. I'd rather have a solid player that can actually that plays that position be behind him. Just like I'd rather have Ben White be our, be that second tier center back rotating with them.
Okay.
I don't think White is part of rotation at a right back for me.
Okay. CM War Game said, "Do you think if we announce Torreira to Galatasaray by Tuesday, could we get Tillmans by the weekend?" I would love to get Tillmans by the weekend.
He was on a. I think he's there now, right? He was on a plane with another player.
He was on a plane, yeah.
So
I believe so. Yeah, I believe.
Torreira
He's already signed. He's just having his physical today.
Torreira went with another player they were quite excited about. I can't quite.
The Deers, DIERs. I don't know how you say that. Deers or something like
It
that.
was Drieskens.
There's a better of a deal done.
Dries Martins, wasn't it?
He's gone.
Oh, okay.
Dries Martins.
Okay.
Yeah, the Dutch player. The idea was to get them ready emotionally, mentally, and tactically for an atmosphere. Yeah, we can bury that. Move on. Ben White.
That is a Sam comment if ever I saw one. That's great.
Oh. I could have said, oh, okay.
See that's actually what they're gonna hear. They're not gonna hear you walk alone for the whole entire game. So there you go.
Ben White did okay, but he got a lot of help from Saka. Yeah, and listen, that you need your wingers to help you in those situations.
Not that much.
Team game.
When Tomiyasu's there, I don't feel like Saka's gonna have to come back the way he did.
No.
You always need that partnership to help
like I said, I don't think Saka has to come back that often when Tomiyasu is playing there. That's why I would like somebody not necessarily at Tomiyasu's level, but between him and Ben White. So that's
the difference between having your full-time right back and a dedicated right back and someone who's covered.
Yeah, but that's where Tavares and was going to come in, and those that's kind of what he was expected to do, is be able to play, and we just realized he's not a squad player for us, right? But I think that's the intention, and that's what I would like as well, and have White still keep his center back role, but the versatility to move outside when needed.
But Tavares is a wing back, not a full back.
So let's not. We'll try and move quickly, Tony. Let's not get by.
I know. I'm trying to. Matt hasn't went on.
We all know that these debates. Everybody knows.
I'm waiting for Matt to have his say on.
I think Mr.
Ben White.
Are you through on Ben White, Matt?
Well, no. I mean, I haven't really said much, but I mean, on Ben White, I thought he did well. Given it was, like I say, Zaha, a very, very good player, tricky player to play against. I thought he did pretty well, largely. Like I said, he's not really a right back, so to step into that position first game of the season against a player of that caliber, I thought he did very well. Yeah, he wasn't perfect, but he's very good covering that position, I think, until Tomiyasu's back in. I think like someone put in the comments, can't remember who it was, but about would you prefer Ben White or Cedric at right back? And I know who I'd choose. I'd much rather have Ben White there. But like I say, once Tomiyasu's back, I think he is probably going to end up on the bench or as a rotation player. But we're going to need that, like we spoke about earlier, because we've got competitions now to be rotating in. So they'll all get a fair number of games. And we've got different opposition with different tactics we're going to have to use, different players of different stature that we're going to have to rely on. So they will all get games. And they have to have that understanding as back partnerships because they are going to rotate.
Yep. Tony, Ben White?
Ben White, to me, is on the ground too much. That was the problem with him. That's why Saka kept having to go down. Every time Zaha put a hand on him, down he went. And then he just kept trying to get fouls. I get called for fouls. I just didn't like him going to the ground. I thought in preseason he was doing really good in that role. Then Zaha, Zaha's a physical player, and he just kept going down too much.
Right. Some of that is trying to curry favor with the referee, try to get a decision your way.
Yeah, but you don't need to be down there 10 times, right?
He plays the game, I don't, so I'm not going to comment on that. That's your opinion, Tony. Des, let's start off with Kieran Tierney and Zinchenko, the combination there. As we said earlier, it's good that there's competition, not backup, right? But they're two distinctly different types of players, and we're going to be using them in different situations as well.
Again, you've got two players in one position that play it differently, and I think that's good. Because if you have to be defensive, you start with Tierney if he's fit, and if you think you can go forward and score a load of goals, you start with Zinchenko, but who can also defend as well. But Tierney, I think Tierney's mentality is an all-out defender, whereas Zinchenko is a defender who likes to get forward and put that ball into the box. You know?
Yeah, you're getting different things from them.
Yeah,
Gary, Zinchenko is going to be able to retain the ball, should be able to retain the ball better, but he's going to struggle with wingers. Because as we said when we were signing him, he's not that type of defender who's going to be able to stand up against pacey wingers. Kieran Tierney is going to be needed for those situations, but I think both of them acquitted themselves very well in Friday night's game.
Yeah. No, I mean, like I said, they did okay. I just would rather them not have to be there too often. That's kind of that's going to be my case every time I bring them up. They can cover for sure, and that for me that means that they're the third option. So still feel like there needs to be a better second option there. But yeah, no, they did well. I mean, I think Zinchenko, they didn't pick on his side as much, of course, because Zaha was on the other side. When they did, he came up. He had his good and bad challenges out there. Like I said, they both got turned, but I think that does happen. Just happened a little bit too much, from what I saw. But yeah, no, I kind of feel like when we bring them in, if we said they were going to start for Arsenal, we wouldn't have said they would be starting as fullbacks. You know what I mean? So, and I think Zinchenko there's a spot in midfield for him. Will he get that opportunity? We'll see. But I kind of feel like that's where I thought he was going to come in, and if we were healthy, he might take that spot next to Erdegaard, across from Erdegaard there, replacing Xhaka. So how that goes, and White will just compete. White definitely competes with the center backs, but he doesn't compete for me with Tomiyasu at this point. So I think Zinchenko is the same way. He's going to be able to compete much better with the midfielders than he will be with Tierney. So.
There's going to be occasions where White will have to play there. We knew last season only 10 games we were able to put our first choice back five in there, goalkeeper and 4 defenders. So this is going to be rotation, and we're going to see new players coming in and trying to do. And White's going to have to play some games there as well. Matt, what was your thoughts on White?
Sorry, thoughts on? I didn't quite catch that.
Sorry, not White.
Zinchenko
and Kieran Tierney.
Yeah, a pretty decent performance. Like I say, I think they offer very different things. I think he struggled, like you say, against the pace a little bit. Like I say, getting turned. I thought going forward's very good. Gave us a lot of opportunities going that way. But obviously going the other way, I think he struggled, and I think it was the right thing to bring Kieran Tierney on, shored us up a little bit. Yeah. But it's so good to have a player of that caliber with something a little bit different that we can use in different games against different opposition, an actual quality, because Tavares does offer that to a degree, but he hasn't got that level of experience. He's a little bit inconsistent, and he has been caught out a few times. So I think it was the right thing for him to go on loan, and I think having someone of that quality and that caliber in Zinchenko is really going to do us a lot of good this season. With Kieran Tierney's kind of injury record, we need it, because I don't think he's going to be. I can't see Kieran Tierney being fit for the whole season again. I mean, like I say, touch wood, I hope he is.
Yeah.
I would wish that, but I think there's a couple of players in our team that are probably going to be a little bit injury prone. But touch wood, that doesn't happen. But it's reassuring to have him there. And like I say, from a central midfield perspective, it does give us other options there. I just love how versatile we are. Everywhere you're looking at it, you're thinking, right, I've got another option there. Someone else can fill in there, and like Des has said, it's not just a filling in; it's an actual really quality replacement there. Now I look at the team and I think, actually, we've got some really good players as a second option. Last season, we really did not have that at all. So I think we've done some good business. But yeah, I enjoyed Zinchenko.
Is that Mr. Tom between Ray and Gary finally on Arsenal shirt? No, that's the enforcer. He's making his debut today and doing a great job.
Thank you.
So, Tony, Zinchenko and Kieran Tierney combined.
Really like Zinchenko. Like his passing, like the way he runs around. Be glad
when Tony talks, I've got the urge to get some crisps.
No, don't do that.
You must have read something there. There's no way you thought that up all by yourself.
Mr. Talon.
You'll be back in the green room if you do that.
I'm only joking.
Anyway,
that's a homage to Mr. Tom.
I'll be glad when we get to see Zinchenko play as the left-sided number 8. I think that will be interesting. But he did good first half. Second half, they kept shooting the long balls over his head, and that's why Tierney came on. Tierney kind of settled things down more. It'd be nice when Tierney's fit. I want to rush him back though, because Zinchenko can do a decent job back there. What are you shaking your head about?
He's leaving Sam's comment up there, which I don't agree with.
Shaka threw himself on the ground.
I've got to say, I disagree with that comment as well, Sam. Sorry, mate, but I do disagree with that comment. And I'll explain when I have to talk about Xhaka. But
when we're talking about Xhaka, we'll explain that. I actually think the referee was hard done by. That's my opinion.
For referees,
wait, you have to wait.
There.
No.
Easy, Tony.
You have to wait.
Easy, Tony.
Wait till we get to this conversation of X. Easy, Tony. Hey, Des, we're going to speed things up, so we're going to talk about Gabriel and Saliba together as a pair. So,
yeah.
Two central defenders.
I've got to say, those two central defenders together are going to be a great pairing this season. If we don't have any issues with them, they're going to boss the defence. That's all I'm going to say about it, because there's no more that needs to be said. They're going to boss the defence.
Yeah. So I thought Gabriel had a decent game, not outstanding.
Yes, he is. Great long balls.
I thought Saliba was a revelation. His timing. Listen, we debated for 3 years probably what Arsenal were doing with Saliba, and I guess we like what we see, right, Gary?
Yep, we do. Do I get to talk about the center backs or?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, I I think we've been looking forward to this since last season, right? We wanted to see what two big tall center backs look like playing together, and we saw that yesterday. And I think I'm looking forward to seeing it more and more and more. And they did really well. I mean, for me, it was a quiet game for them, which is good because I don't really want to have to hear about them having to make too many plays. But when they were called on, they actually did make a lot of good plays.
Yeah,
hold up. Even when I think they brought on Mateta, Gabriel was able to hold up to stand up to him, and then he ended up getting fouled by him because he just couldn't handle him. So it was really good to see. No, I like the pairing. Saliba was pretty clean, like I said, all game. Backing up, supporting, all of that. Anytime their ball came into the box, he was right there. Really good stuff. So yeah, and this is his first game, so it'll only get better from here on out. He'll have his blips, but each game will be just another one. If he improves like he did last season, we'll have a good one there, and hopefully Arsenal can hold on to him because it'll be a big miss if they can't. So yeah.
Yeah, comments from Arteta today or yesterday or Friday in the press conference was let Saliba be. Let him be. It's not let the media. Let's not get too gassed about him. As Gary said, he's going to make some mistakes. He is a young player. Let's not forget he's 21 years old. Let him be. Let him play. And Saliba was determined to come to Arsenal and play, contrary to other people's opinions and thoughts on that. GFFN followers, Tony, Matt, Saliba, and Gabriel.
Yeah, very good. Like I said, I think out of the two of them, Saliba was the most impressive, but Gabriel was pretty tidy, I thought. Yeah, I think Saliba, obviously the physicality is brilliant to have, but I think he uses it very well and very wisely for someone his age. I think sometimes when you've got that, you can go clattering into challenges a little bit naively, but he seems to just have this innate ability to time a tackle really well, use his physicality, go in for a sliding tackle, but win a ball looking tidy, but being physical. And I think that's a real skill because I don't think there's many people that really get that right. You know, some of the tackles he made, a lot of players maybe would have given a penalty away or free kicks away, but he just looks so tidy. He just has really good timing, I think, and he's got a good footballing brain. He's very calm on the ball as well. He can ping a pass. His distribution seemed pretty good at times when you saw him trying to put balls through to other players to get forward. I thought he was very good, and I think he seems to be mature beyond his years. You look at his performance and you think that's not someone that age, surely, playing at that level. On his debut as well against a very difficult side, very physical side. You would have thought he would have at least had another 4 or 5 years on him. So you don't want to kind of, he's obviously had a very good loan period, and I think it was the right thing to do. I think it has made him a much better player coming back to Arsenal. I think it was right to not put him under that kind of pressure so soon because we didn't need to. But I think he's now ready, and I think he's going to be a very important player for us. Very important player. And it's so good to have someone of that kind of physicality in the team because we have been a team that's struggled with that a little bit. And are we all glad that we haven't got, Martinez? We've got big Saliba back there rather than a Martinez.
Tyrion Lannister, yeah, look.
Yeah,
He was never going to be back there as a center back. He was never going to be a center
Let's
back.
take a moment to laugh at Man United a little bit. Listen, they're a long way. They're Arsenal 3 or 4 years ago right now. Man United are, and
they're broken. They're well broken.
I think Ten Hag has probably had to make these things visible. Put Harry Maguire as captain, have him make mistakes. Bring Ronaldo back because no one else wants him, right? And he wants to go to a Champions League club.
Do you know what though, Ray? I think one thing I would say with Saliba is that, he had a fantastic first game. He's young. The Premier League is a completely different ball game. I don't think he is the type of player that is going to make many mistakes because, like I said, I think he's got a good footballing brain on him. But let's not gas him up too soon, too quick. He probably is going to make a mistake at some point.
Yeah.
Let's just be patient with him because he is a young player.
We sometimes don't take into account the cover in front of the central defenders as well. So Partey doing a good job. That's the type of thing that we need throughout the season. I said, Liverpool have spent a lot of money on Darwin Núñez. They haven't been able to upgrade midfield, and Liverpool fans want their midfield upgraded. Thiago went out injured, and Van Dijk became exposed in that game, conceding a penalty. Tony, Saliba, and Gabriel, and then we're going to cover midfield in general and speed things up for everybody here.
Okay. It's nice having 2 brick shit houses. I think they both had really good games.
Yeah.
Both solid. Both didn't make mistakes. I really liked Gabriel's long ball to Martinelli early in the first half. I think that led to a corner kick or a throw in down there. They played well together. Hopefully we keep seeing it. I don't know why people want to see it mixed up. Why do you, Gary, want to see rotation at center back? No, the 2 work there. Keep them there. Sorry, Gary.
I didn't say that. What you just said.
Hey, you did. You said you wanted to see rotation.
Yeah, when we
all over.
In
When it's
October, we're
needed.
going to need it. In October,
I
we're
think
going to
Gary
need
meant
it.
when it's needed, Tony. I don't think
Midweek
he meant he
games are
wanted
gonna
to see
need
it
it.
every match. I think he wanted to see it when it was needed. Okay. And I've got to say, the Saliba and Gabrielle, they remind me of the line from Lord of the Rings from Gandalf. You shall not pass.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And I don't.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard to get past those guys this season.
Finally got a
Yeah,
second brick shit house that I wanted for a
and
while now.
Saliba,
Ago,
he's
Gabriel.
just so good at reading what the attacker is trying to do, and
Yeah.
he doesn't dive in, and he shepherds it away from the central area of the goal. He
Yeah,
shepherds them
that play
playing
where
down
he
the
made
side.
it, that play on Zaha
In
when
the
he was
box,
able to
yeah.
get past White inside the box,
Yeah.
and you're like, oh crap! But he already saw it, which is, you always think 2 and 3 spot time, plays ahead, and he
Yeah.
did that, and he was right there for it. Was able to get down and clear it up all out, and we need a lot more of that. So yeah, his like you said, his football mind is really good.
And the
And
anticipation, Gary. He can anticipate danger.
that's what I just said.
I'm agreeing with you. It's
But you
okay,
had to
like-
change. You had to change up the words. Say the
Did
same
you
thing.
What is
say-
up with you lot tonight between
I
the
don't
three of you? Jeez, bloody hell, it's a married couple.
Where have
We
you
got
been,
pro-
Matt? You
Polygamous relationship
Matt,
going
you
on.
left
Bloody
us for
married
like
women.
weeks on end, and then you expect things
Yeah.
to change for the
Yeah,
better.
Matt
or
goes
something.
away to Scotland and
What has
all
happened?
breaks loose, right? All right, Des, midfield. Let's take midfield as a whole. I'll start.
Right.
I'll start with Granit Xhaka. Had a tidy game.
Right, Granit Xhaka played well. Didn't deserve his yellow card. Played well when he got a yellow card. Enough said. On to Gary.
Yeah, listen, I'll get my saying as well. Granit Xhaka, hard done by the referee. The problem with Granit Xhaka is he's got a reputation, and referees know about him, and it's gonna haunt him.
They're just waiting for something to happen, Ray. They're just waiting for something to happen with Xhaka.
It's right in front of a referee. Is a clear dive.
Yeah, but look. Did you see Crystal Palace players
I
doing the same
rewatched
thing?
the game last night. Right?
Crystal Palace should have got 2 yellow cards as well, Tony, because they did exactly the same thing, but they didn't get a card. But when Xhaka did, first time Xhaka did it, card
It
straight
was
away.
right in front of a referee. What?
I know that,
It was in the
Tony.
box.
Tony,
Desi
Tony.
dove in the box in front of the referee. Nothing. The referee actually told him get up because that's how
Yes,
bad it
Tony.
was. So tell me, the official saw it, told him to get up because he knew it wasn't a foul.
Exactly. Please move on to Gary if you like.
Anderson, who had been physical with Jesus, was the last man there. He puts his hand out, and Granit Xhaka thinks he's going to be impeded.
He wasn't touched. He dove, right?
What?
He dove.
Oh, okay, he dove because he got a yellow card.
Harry Kane before to know what a dive
Got a
is?
yellow card. Okay, that's it. Gary.
Yeah,
Xhaka?
Xhaka, he did okay, and like I said, I think having all better players around him, you don't notice him as much because he gets a lot of freedom. That's it's good and all, but I just rather have somebody better there. I think we can find it because every time the further we move him up the pitch, the least amount of danger he can do to the squad. But also, I think there are better players that can play in that position up top. If you're going to push him further up the pitch, I think like Tony said, I think he was up higher than Jesus at some points during the game because Jesus is coming back to secure the ball and then keep the attack going. So that's why I feel like if we're going to keep doing that, we can bring in somebody else who's actually more of a threat, shooting and passing and all of that. Because I think they're out there. So yeah, the yellow card. I don't think it was a yellow card based on one where he was in the pitch. I mean, it was a heavy touch, but he was trying to avoid the player so he could go get it. And if you've seen Xhaka, his footwork is terrible to begin with. I mean, the man just lost it. So for me, I don't think it was worth a yellow based on the way the officiating was going on throughout that game. Not at all. If you're going to call that, then you got to be consistent. If you're not going to be consistent, then we can't say it's a dive. It's a blatant dive because obviously not. Obviously not because of the way the game was being called, right? So I think he just fell because his feet. He's got 2 left feet, but because he's trying to avoid a player at full speed. He can't do that. That's never been a skill of his. Nobody ever said, his footwork is really good. He can make that play where he can avoid a player at top speed, his top speed. Nah. So, but you know what? He did play well after the yellow. I think that probably woke him up and made him play a little bit more cleaner, a little bit more safer in terms of what he did. Because I never saw him put himself in any situations that were dangerous in terms of maybe get another yellow. So yeah, and he's a smart player like that. I didn't see it. I didn't say it didn't happen. But no, I kind of feel like he did good. And the least I have to say his name, that the better we are, because usually it's a bad thing to get associated with him on the pitch. Not always because of him, but reputation and all that stuff. So yeah,
his reputation precedes him. I think all three of us on top sort of think he was unfairly cautioned, right? So let's go downstairs, Matt.
Yeah, do you know what? I think, like I say, I think we've kind of got to the bottom of it, really. I think it's consistency. I think if you're going to book Xhaka for that, then a lot of other decisions should have been made in that game. And it goes across the board with other games we see and decisions being made, which you think, well, if that's a yellow, then surely that has to be a yellow. And why has Xhaka got a yellow for that when X player? It's just completely baffling how inconsistent the refereeing is. Personally, I think that particular incident, I think it was quite a soft yellow, to be honest. I think, yes, it probably was a dive, but I think if you're going to give that, then you have to be consistent with your decision making everywhere else. So I didn't necessarily have a problem with the yellow in that particular incident, but I did have a problem with it in the context of wider decisions that were being made in the rest of the game. So, yeah, I think CM War Games, Gary, I think you're all kind of right in the sense that we're just looking for consistency with decisions.
Exactly, Matt. I totally agree. It's all about consistency.
I think the referees take one approach. They're trying to control the game. They will say they're trying to control the game. So they don't really try to referee consistently, although they should.
No.
You know what I mean?
Get European referees in, Ray. Get European referees in.
Absolutely.
It will give the British referees a kick up the bum. You know what I mean? Get the Europeans in.
Tony,
go back to amateur ones.
Tony, four of us think Granit Xhaka was unfairly treated.
No, I still disagree. Dodwad said it was a dive, not a dove. But
Technically,
it was right in front of the official. He clearly seen that there was no contact at all. He clearly dove.
You make it seem like he's that skilled a player that in that fraction of a second he realized he was going to be no contact and he's going to dive. Come on, he's not that. He is not skilled at diving. He is not. This is not.
Tony,
he's not
Got a yellow
Klinsmann.
card for it.
Tony, that is your opinion and you're entitled to it.
Tony, he's not Klinsmann, and if you look closely again, his bootlaces were tied together.
All right.
That's what happened.
It was a dive.
someone start a crowd fund for Velcro boots.
I didn't have my say on it, right?
Next one up is
have
Thomas
my say on
Partey.
it.
Thomas Partey. He's going to have to wear earplugs every
skipped
game.
me.
What?
I didn't say anything besides the yellow card.
That's all he needs. Yeah. You said
No.
he deserved it.
I didn't have anything else. He didn't let me say anything else about this game.
Go on.
What were you going to say, Tony, about Xhaka?
Quickly, Tony, quickly.
As Gary was saying, we have three players that can play there. Smith Rowe can play that role. Fabio can play that role. Zinchenko can play that role. Why is Granit Xhaka playing as an attacking number 8 on the left side?
Because it's in his contract, Tony. Tony, it's in his contract. He has to play a certain amount of games, mate.
Is he going to be the striker in the next one? He's up far enough.
Well, you never know. It's all filled in with crowns anyway, mate. So, you know. Yeah.
Okay, moving swiftly on. Thomas Partey. Thomas Partey is going to get abuse up and down the country. That case will be litigated. We're not here to talk about that, but I think he's going to need to wear earplugs for the whole of those games, away from home especially. I thought despite all of that, he had a mixed game. He did some good things. He did some bad things. But Thomas Partey, Des.
I'm not Partey's biggest fan. Everybody knows. I call him part-time Partey because I don't think we're going to get many games out of him this season. So can I ask you to move on to Gary because I've got nothing positive to say.
Yeah.
So, and I know Gary's he's a bit of a Partey advocate, so I'll let Gary have his say.
When Partey's good, he's good.
Yeah, I mean, availability, it's all about availability, and yes, that's an issue, but that's an issue for Tierney and hopefully not Tomiyasu. But, these players that are really good for us, we need them to be available. And when he's available and on, we are really good in the midfield. I think he makes Erdegaard look really good when he's in there. You take Partey out. You take Partey out and watch. You don't have to cover in front of the back line, and that's when we kind of struggle in the midfield. So, and that's why I definitely wanted us to find another piece to go behind him that can play a similar role, at least play a CDM role, not necessarily a holding role. If that's what you want to split up the responsibilities. So that's kind of where I kind of feel like we have a hole there, a big one. I don't know if we're going to replace it or fix it or anything like that, but if he's out of the game, I kind of feel like we have to change our structure and our formation to help that. I know El Neni's name comes up, but that's not a long-term fix for us, right? No. He's not going to play 20 games for us, and we're going to need somebody to play 20 games at that position if we're going to continue to look the same on the pitch. So for me, that's why Partey, I think, is really critical. In the game, like you said, Ray, he was good and bad, right? And then we're going to get that from him on his good days. You just don't even notice him, right? It's just so clean. And then you're always talking about Erdegaard when he's having a good day. I think that's the one thing that he brings. I mean, he's that outlet in the middle of the pitch when there's players all around him. He's clean on the ball. So I kind of I like that from him. We will need to have cover there, or we need to figure out a plan B for how we're going to play when he's not there, because that's going to happen based on experience and based on the last 2 seasons, right? So, yeah, good one, but availability is a big issue. Really, if that's Des, if that's your concern, availability, then that's a big one because he hasn't given it to us. Not for the money we spent, right?
Yeah, that is my concern, Gary. Yeah. That is.
Matt.
Yeah, like I say, he didn't have a really boss performance. It wasn't a standout performance by any means. Reasonable. Like I say, wasn't perfect. Didn't do some great things at times, but he is a player. I agree with Gary that he is a player that we do miss when he's not there. I think it does leave us open. We do need to go and get another defensive-minded kind of midfielder in that kind of role. I think we're pretty sorted otherwise in that midfield area. But like Des has said as well, injuries, not being consistently there for the whole season. That's the engine room of your team. You need someone who you can rely on for pretty much every game, which weirdly, Xhaka is that guy from a fitness perspective. He's got a great engine. He's, from a fitness perspective, he's a machine. But it's like I say, if Partey had that kind of that fitness record, you'd be all right. But yeah, we do need to improve in that area, I think. And he is going to struggle. I think it'd be interesting to see mentality-wise how he rises above what he's going to, like Ray says, the experience he's going to get at away grounds and how that affects him. Whether Arteta wants to shield him or not, but we haven't really got anyone to bring in.
There was that plane, right, with the message on the back of it at the game, and that's only going to get more and more intense, I think.
Yeah, it's not easy. It's not easy to win games away from home, and distractions will be another factor on top of it as well. Tony, Thomas Partey.
Bang average game like all the other team midfielders. I don't think any of them had a great game. Just going on Gary's point that he's talking about there, we had a suitable person there that Arteta never went to. Torreira led the 5 European leagues last season and stopped in the third by tackles and interceptions. So apparently he can play that role, but he never really got the chance. Should have been played there more.
He didn't want to be here, though, did he, Tony?
So, Tony, we're going to slip into reverse here and have you start off on Erdegaard. We'll go counterclockwise.
Right. Bang average. Move on.
Bang average. Matt,
Say what? What did you just say? What?
Bang average yesterday.
Hold on a minute. You get a chance to talk, and you come up with one sentence.
That's it. Hey, we'll take it.
He will interrupt you later, so don't worry about it.
We'll take it.
I'm waiting for it, Gary. I'm waiting for it.
Des, when you get fair weather, you take fair weather and you roll with it.
True, mate. True. Crack on. I'm only joking. I'm crack on.
I love him.
Matt, as we mentioned, Erdegaard needs to develop a right foot. I think Albert, in the Amazon documentary, he takes Emil Smith Rowe in and he says, "Hey, you were doing this. You need to do something else." And someone else told Emil Smith Rowe at the beginning of the last season, I think it might have been Ian Wright, you got to take more shots.
Yeah.
Erdegaard, you can provide Erdegaard, but you got to take shots as well. He's got to weigh in with some goals, Matt.
Yeah, I think he's a fantastically creative player. I think he offers us a huge amount. I think he's instrumental in our kind of build-up play, creating opportunities for other players. Very, very good going forward. He's, like I say, he just sees passes where other players don't. He's very, very good, but like you say, he's very hesitant to pull the trigger. He's almost too selfless. He's always looking for the complicated option rather than, actually, I'm 3 yards from goal. I've got an open goal here in a yard of space. I could just take a shot, and that is to his detriment. So I can't see that they won't be doing the same thing behind the scenes as they did with Emil Smith Rowe and pulling him aside and saying, it's great that you're so selfless. It's great that you're always looking for another player. You've got your head up. You're looking for everybody else around you. But in those positions where you've got a bit of space and you can see a clear line of goal, have a pop, son. Have a go. Leather it. Because he can clearly score. I mean, he's scored some good goals for us already. So when he wants to actually go for goal and actually take a shot, he's perfectly capable of doing it. He's just got to have that mindset to be a little bit more selfish at times when he's got that option. But I think that will come. I think that will come.
Yeah, definitely. And it's a way days for a captain that your captaincy is going to be questioned when things go tough. He's going to be good on good days. And we need a little bit more from Erdegaard if he's going to be our captain. Listen, there's 10 other players on the field, but captaincy comes with that responsibility. Tony, we do appreciate that you are trying to keep us under 3 hours, so you're moving things along. Rather than not wanting to comment, you are moving things along, so fair play. Gary, Erdegaard?
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm more disappointed things he didn't do and that's just to take shots at one time.
Yeah.
First touch, right? I mean, I know he can do it because we've seen him on the free kick. So you give him space and time, and he's had space and time. He should be able to get that shot off. You know what I mean? So that's my only. If there's going to be a complaint, that's it. I want you to shoot more, and it doesn't matter where you are in the pitch because he's taking free kicks from outside the box. So that's not. It can't be. Well, it's a long distance shot. No, he can take them. He scored from outside the box on free kicks. The man can do it. So there's no excuse for him not to take the shot. But it's going to be. Hopefully he learned from it, and we'll see some improvement. Hopefully the next game, because he's been put in positions to score, and Jesus and it's got to be like screaming at him, "Come on, take that shot!" Because he's got it. And everybody on our squad, like you said, is a little selfless, and you can't do that in this league. We don't care where the goals come from, especially when you have an opportunity. Given an opportunity, you got to take it. So that's what everybody needs to do. So we could have double-digit scores if they just take the damn shot. Just take.
Be a bit more ruthless, Gary?
Yeah.
He's the nicest Norwegian we know, but he's got to be a bit more ruthless.
Yeah, he is really nice. Every time I hear it, take the shot, it goes back to Stan talking about that Bond movie. Sam Morgan says he was running like a beast. He closed down. Yeah. Needs to get feet sorted out and defensively allowed Eze through. Thankfully, Ramsdale came to rescue. He needs to improve that. He's been caught like that in a couple of times against Man United as well, at Man United's ground last season, conceding a penalty. So, these are the things that every player can improve on our team, and Erdegaard's no different. He can improve as well. Des, Erdegaard.
Right, I just want to say, all joking apart, Tony, you're entitled to your opinion. You've all brought up good points, but I would like to bring up just a couple more, just really quickly. What I like about Odegaard is he seems to have the ball stuck to his foot when he's got it, okay? And he sees passes that other people don't see, yeah? And his work rate. But I will admit, Friday night was not, it's really hard for me to say this as well, right? Friday night was not his best game, yeah? I will say that, but I totally agree with you guys as well. He needs to take his shots a lot sooner. We know he can score. Have a crack. And Arsenal haven't had someone who's willing to shoot outside the 18-yard box for seasons. Have a crack. I mean, I know you get El Neni having the missile come in every now and again, and a lucky one from Xhaka every 5 years, but yeah, well, Odegaard, you can score. You can score. So go score them. Go score them. So there we go. Thank you very much.
No, definitely. Now we're getting into the forwards, and Cahoot is around the corner. So I put the pin up here. 938-080. Let's get 9 or 10 people in there. CM Wargame said, I am pleased we went to Selhurst Park, got the results, and got out of there again with 3 points. We turned a 3-0 deficit last spring into a 2-0 win. Could have been 3-0. Odegaard. On another day, Odegaard would take that. I said to Mahir a few weeks ago, I think when we signed Jesus, and I was told all of these guys here as well, Gabriel Jesus is going to increase the numbers of the players around him. He could have actually helped Odegaard get a goal as well and an assist for himself.
You saw, and he worked so hard for it, right? Because initially the ball flies out there, and you're like, "Damn it, the defender's got it." And the defender let the ball slip past him, and Jesus, with his speed, was able to get in there strong, get position. And then Erdogan had space for days. He had space for days to figure out what to do. And and that's when Jesus is screaming at you. I don't work this hard for you not to take the shot. Take the shot,
Yeah,
I agree with that, Gary. I do actually agree with that.
So Gabriel Jesus is going to get goals. Haaland scored this weekend. Nunes scored this weekend, and Jesus will get his goals. He's probably not going to keep pace with those two, but that's not the race that he's in. Well, we have to say, why not compete? Why not try to compete with the top two for as long as we can? We got 5 or 6 games where we should shoot out of the blocks, and but there's the Kahoot pen 938-080. Let's talk about. You want to go Martinelli next, Gary, or Saka?
Let's go Martinelli, I guess. Yeah, Martinelli.
Okay. You can start.
Gee, I wonder which one Gary's up there.
I like both. I like all of that front line. I wasn't going to lose either way, but Martinelli, no. Once again, I think a really good game from him. Finishing, that's going to come. And I've always said I think he's a little bit behind, Milsroof Rowe on that sense, in the sense that he's been out for a while and he's still getting accustomed to playing football again. He's got better talent, I believe, than probably anybody on our front line outside of Jesus. So I kind of feel like once that kind of clicks, we're going to see a lot more from him. He, like I said, a really good game from him. I like to see him put that ball in the net with his feet. He did it with his head, but I want to see him do it more with his feet too. So no, really good game from him. I don't know what more to say about what he did, during the game, but he had his opportunities to probably get a brace, but we'll take it. We'll take it.
Yeah, and look, Bukayo Saka, if you don't buy a ticket, you don't win the lottery. So put in a cross in there that hard. Anything can happen. We wish more of our players would do that. Looking at the bench as well, I do want to say, probably speaking for everyone here, looking at the bench, we do need another 2 players to come in to make our bench look better. If you want 5 substitutes, you got to have 5 very good options, and I think we have 2 or 3 right now, not 5. Des, did you get a word on Saka before I go to Matt and Tony? Bukayo Saka, Des?
Yeah, I just wanted to say something quickly about Martinelli.
So I don't know. Okay. I thought we were on Martinelli, so I didn't know. Did we switch to Saka already?
Did you say? Yeah, no, sorry. You said Martinelli? Martinelli. Yeah. Thanks for keeping me on.
I'll just be quick on Martinelli.
I'm having a stinker today.
The boy is going to come good this season. I think because he's got a lot to learn. He'll learn a lot from Jesus. And I think Jesus being there will bring out the best in Martinelli. Not that he wasn't bad before, don't get me wrong, but I think he'll take it up another level. And I think, he's got a lot to prove this season to himself and maybe to everybody else, but I think it's in there. And I think the switch will be flipped and we'll see a different Martinelli this season. That's it, really.
Matt, the kid's got so much talent that I sort of challenge him to give us what we see, and we know it's there, right?
I think that's what he needs. Like Des says, you've got a player of Jesus's quality there that can only inspire you and push you to be a much better player. I think he's got all the raw ingredients we've seen. He's an incredibly talented kid. So it's now time for him to come good. I think he's had a bit of opportunities. I know he's had injuries, but he's obviously had opportunities now to start picking up game time. I think he's more effective as a player than he used to be. I think he used to be a little bit gung-ho, a little bit running all over the place like a madman, like a dog chasing a car and not necessarily using his brain. I think he's a little bit more considered in where he uses his energy. I think he used to kind of always go to the byline and take players on rather than maybe cutting inside and bringing others into play or changing his play up a little bit. And he's starting to be a bit more effective. But I think he's still, like I say, he still has a little bit of a way to go. But it's good, you try and get into the right position at the right time. It doesn't matter how you score goals as long as it's in the back of the net. It's good to see a player like Martinelli who you would expect to see scoring with his feet, to actually use his head. So that's a positive thing to see he can actually do that. He can go into a crowded box and win a header and actually put it in the back of the net. So that's a positive thing. Mm-hmm. But I think the more he plays this season and the more he gets that kind of training time with Jesus, I agree with Des. I think that's going to bring him up a level, and I think we're going to see a lot more from him.
Yeah. We'll probably announce Tillman's before race starts, Cahoot. So we'll do that very soon, Cahoot. We're gonna do the last one. Tony. We're gonna go to Tony, then we're gonna go to Bukayo Saka. So Tony, Martinelli.
He's looking to pass more than he has in the past. Hopefully he continues that. Should help that Gabriel speaks the same language he does. That should help him out. But,
some of what I'm going to say about Martinelli is prefaced by Saka. So I'll start off from Bukayo Saka. He attracts two players to him. So, especially in that
and Martinelli needs to work on his headers.
Especially in that first, he scored from the header. Can't fall back.
It wasn't a header though, right?
What do you mean? He went off his head.
Didn't look like it.
What?
I'm not getting into this one. Gary, you're on your own. You're on your own on this one, mate.
Tony's gone fishing with that one. He's cast his rod. And he's fishing.
I think you're taking a bait. Come on, dude. I'm still thinking of it. It was an easy one.
Don't go for it. Don't go for the bait.
Don't bite, Gary. Gary, don't bite.
Just pulling on the string,
don't do it,
man. So he thinks there's a bite. He's not catching me.
Don't do it, guys. Bukayo Saka is attracting two players to him. So Jesus and Martinelli have a lot of room to work in, and we saw that, I think, in the first 20, 25 minutes. Especially from, as Des said, a move in the fourth minute when Jesus went through two or three defenders, took a shot. It was deflected to Martinelli. A difficult one, but you'd expect Martinelli to put that away. But the training ground routine as well, a really, really good implementation of our set piece coach, Nicholas Jover, doing well for us again. We were one of the best set piece teams last season, defensively and attacking. So Martinelli getting up this we want to see, and we want to see Bukayo Saka taking lots of shots and making defenders make split-second decisions that are bad for them. An own goal for us. So a difficult game, but a difficult ground to win at as well. So who's next? on Saka? Des, want to go around that
Yeah,
way?
okay, I'll go. I can be quick, right? End of the day, Saka scares people because they have to double team him and sometimes treble team him. That's how much he scares teams. But he bounces off it. He rolls with it, you know? And thing is, when he gets a sniff of goal, he wants to score. And the only fault I will say with Saka, and I love the kid to bits, right? Sometimes he should pass the ball instead of shooting. He's like the opposite of Odegaard in a way. There are occasions where he should pass it instead of shooting. But that's the only fault I can find with Saka, and it's a very, very minimal one.
Right.
Great kid, got a great future, and I just hope he stays with us.
He loves the Arsenal as long as we are successful and start winning things with him.
Yeah.
He'll stay with us for a little bit yet. Gary?
Yeah, I guess I have a different thought on Saka. I think he doesn't shoot enough. I think he passes. I think his first thought is to pass, when in reality sometimes he should just take the shot. I mean, I think in the game when he could have just taken the shot right away, I think he hesitated and let the defenders come in and clear it out. Once again, just one touch shot, but he does. Like you said, he is a threat out there. As soon as he gets the ball out there, you don't. You're in trouble. But I think he keeps. I think he plays nice. He needs to be a threat out there, where they at some point they're going to have to bring him down because he's going to go right by them every time. You know what I mean? Because he's going to have that aggression out there when he's playing that he's got to, because he usually does. He can get by them every time if he wants to. We see it all the time. He gets to the goal line, he's able to cross back in if he wants, and the team needs to know this. But I think what happens is he doesn't do that too often, so they never take the bait that, look, he's going to go around his player, and then you need to be in the box because the pass is coming. So I kind of feel like that's probably learned as they go along. But Saka, once again, I think had a really good game. Outside of not, I think his pass where that cross where he scored off the header on the own goal, if his shots had that much power behind them, they're going in. So I know he's got the foot because I just saw it. But on some of his shots, it seems like he doesn't get a good foot on it, and it just kind of there's no power there. So that hopefully we'll see a lot more of that. This is probably the first game, but that's all I want more from him. Yeah, I like him.
Matt, because Saka, star boy.
Yeah, good game. Like I say, you've got to take a chance sometimes, and sometimes you get goals that bounce off legs and heads and whatever else, but you've got to stick a shot in or a cross in for that to happen. So, yeah, pleased with him. He's a player, like Des and Gary have said, that are going to cause teams all sorts of problems. And when you've got our front line who are interchanged, they move a lot, it's going to frighten teams because, like I said, they're going to double up on a Saka. That's going to create a space. Jesus with his movement, and our front line, the movement we've got and the pace we've got, they're going to be all at 6s and 7s this season trying to mark them. So it's great that we've got that. I think, like Des has mentioned about Saka, it's impressive for a player of his stature how well he takes the rough and tumble. He does get fouled a lot, but he's physically quite strong. He's very robust. He uses his body really well. I just see, how he angles his body or he moves and leans into players. And he doesn't get brushed off the ball very easily, I don't think. And I think that's really impressive for someone of that stature. But I think it is something that we're going to have to kind of manage very well this season with physical teams, is trying to make sure that we don't put him under any unnecessary risk or bring him off if he's been chomped at a lot. Because I think last season we
and we're going to have to trust.
Well. Yeah, he got overplayed last season, and I think
we're going to have
to worry about being injured. So, but no, just more of the same from him. I think, like you say, I think he probably could score more goals. I think that's something he needs to maybe add a little bit. I know Smith Rowe started to do that, and he started to be a bit more direct with shots and getting goals. I think if Saka could improve his goal rate, that's all I can really ask from him, really. But we just need to manage him better and just protect him a bit.
Yeah, and look, if he's going to take the attention of some of the defenders, that opens things up for Martinelli and Jesus and even Odegaard as well. Tony, as so often, you get the final say on the final member of the 11th player on Friday.
He had a good game. Want to see him shoot more still. Main thing is he played 90 minutes. I don't want to see him be playing 90 minutes. Marquinhos is good enough to be coming in. He should have played for 20 minutes.
He
Marquinhos
played on
did yes.
Saturday. He wasn't going to play. He played on Saturday.
Yeah, but why didn't he play
21
Friday? He's good enough.
He's not ready.
Did he look
He's
ready
going to be a
on
good player.
Thursday? To me, he looked
Marquinhos is
ready.
going to be a good player, though. He's going to be a good player, Marquinhos. I see.
I think
I see
he's ready.
potential in. I see potential in the boy. So,
All
I
right.
think he's just
No,
as
we're
ready
gonna-
as
Yeah, when
Martinelli
Akpitikus
was.
is ready, he's ready.
I want to see potential in one of the Kahoot players tonight, and we're going to get into Kahoot now. When we'll come back after 5 or 10 minutes of this quiz, Des, so stick around. Don't go anywhere.
okay,
I
man.
don't know if you've seen this Kahoot game before.
Not yet. I haven't. No. So this is all new to me. So let's see what that's all about. Yeah.
All right. Maybe you can play next week as well.
many
Yeah, no
members?
problem.
How many members do you have now? Because I don't want to
Got
take
5 so far, so if anyone wants to join in, please do so. The pin is there in the comments section. So here we go. I'm gonna start it momentarily, Tony.
Let's do this.
Let's see if that
I
Rob
live
will be like
for
last week.
Sunday night Kahoot. I love it.
I went poll to poll and it cheated me at the end.
Get 6
Nobody
people in.
cheated.
I'll give you one more minute. This is a Premier League Weekend 1 quiz. There's some anagrams in here, and there's some questions in here. There's 10 questions, and we will start now. Okay. 8 people in. Anyone else? One more person, maybe? Here we go.
Tony
If you
C.
can. All right, let's get started. We've got 8 people in. It's a color-coded quiz, and you can do this using your iPhone.
Excuse me.
All right, question number 1 is, anagram of Darwin Nunez. Wingrad Nuner, Winard Zenon, Redwin Nuner, Ragnik Zoomer. Take your time, get it right.
Okay.
Oh no!
I don't like anagrams of Ray.
Damn it!
5 people like it. 5 people were right. Winard Zenon, the blue was correct there for Darwin Nunez. There is one other anagram, but the rest of the are questions. So you have time to pick up. He dove is in
He
the
dove.
lead.
He dove, Ray.
He dove. He dove. I wrote it. Okay. I read it as dove. AFC, it's EWTT. You're in 3rd place, Gary. You're in the Champions League.
Can I hold on? Can I hold on to stay? What's it
I
called?
say if I could lead it poll to poll.
Gary, if
I
you
get
drop
fucked
out of the
under
top
hand.
4, that's bad omen for Arsenal.
Oh,
This
crap.
weekend, which team did not win 2-0? This weekend, which team did not win 2-0? Arsenal, Chelsea, Bournemouth, or Newcastle? Which team did not win 2-0?
Ooh.
I know, but I'm not going to say nothing.
Well, we got 7 answers in.
I down to 2, so
You
I'm
can
hoping
tell
I
us
got-
now, Des. Chelsea. 8 answers
Yep.
correct there.
That was right.
So, Des, it's about getting the answer right, but it's also about the speed in which you answer.
Speed. Yeah, totally get it. I get the concept of it. It's good. It's good.
As Gary tells me, he dove is in the lead. Which team conceded the most goals this weekend? Which team conceded the most goals this weekend?
Yep.
West Ham, Fulham, Southampton, or Wolves?
1 second.
All Arsenal fans should know this, unfortunately.
Absolutely.
Southampton was the right answer. Gary's got a streak of 3 correct answers.
He's on fire.
What about me?
Who cares about you?
Which one are you? You're Tom Slayer? Or he
No,
dove?
he dove.
Ah, okay. We know who Gary is. Anagram of Erling Haaland coming up. Linger Aladdin. Ringer Holland, Gernel Badlands, or Grelin Denal? Erling Haaland.
I think I got it. We'll see.
Eighth person, get your answer in.
I've got my money on you, Gary.
All right, Des, which one do you think it is? Red was the answer.
Yeah, I was.
You're asking
But I
right
think-
where the public.
I'll be honest. I knew it was red, but I didn't get it that quickly.
Okay, 838080 has a streak of 4 correct answers in a row. He's coming. Gary, you're up to
He's on
second
fire.
place. Rami Yasu third.
Coming out of nowhere.
Only player to score 2 goals this weekend, not counting the City game, okay? Not counting the City game. Only player to score 2 goals this weekend. Ronaldo, Gross, Sterling, or Salah.
Got it.
Doing all right.
This is a guess. Oh, good one.
The Brighton player.
I think Salah only scored 1, right? So.
Pascal Gross. Salah got 1. Ronaldo didn't. Sterling didn't.
Didn't, yeah.
Rami Yasu up to second.
Oh, man, there's a little kicker on the trigger there.
Out of the shadows and into second place. Come on, get in there.
Tony's in the lead here. Tony is winning.
Bit of a lead, right?
Which of these games did not have an own goal? Palace versus Arsenal, Fulham versus Liverpool, Tottenham versus Southampton, or Leeds?
Not sure about that one. That's a guess.
I'm going to go here.
Which of these games did not have an own goal? We know the Arsenal one had an own goal, right?
That is a bit of a guess, actually.
Aronson was robbed
Good
of
guess.
the Leeds. Aronson was robbed of the Leeds. The correct answer is Fulham versus Liverpool. It should have separated a few people now.
I'll tell you what, that Leeds lad's got some pace, hasn't he?
Aaronson's my boy. I like him. Mr. Tom knows. DWTT in the league. You cannot fumble this now, Gary.
Oh, no.
Come on, Gary, you can do it. I've got you 10 to 1, Gary. I've got you 10 to 1.
If Gary comes in first, Arsenal are winning the league this year.
No, putting all this pressure on me.
Name the player who scored Chelsea's penalty. Jorginho, Sterling, Pulisic, or Mount.
I think I got that one right.
And that's a gif of Sam Greenwood taking a penalty. Sam in the chat.
Wow.
Right, that's class.
Thanks, really.
7 correct answers of Jorginho. Somebody picked Sterling, which is incorrect.
It was Tony, wasn't it, Tony?
Tommy Till is coming at you fast, Gary. Has to be Mr. Tom, right? The resident Arsenal fan, maybe.
There you go. He's got.
True or false?
Oh.
Fulham and Liverpool played a 2-2 draw. True or false?
Nah.
Fulham and Liverpool played a 2-2 draw.
Oh, I clicked the wrong thing.
You didn't. You didn't.
No, I didn't.
Oh.
I didn't.
Oh,
Wasn't
cool.
it 2-2?
I thought I did. For a second there, I was like, crap, I pressed the wrong button.
Gary.
Don't do that to me, Gary. I've got my house on you. My house is on you now.
I did it to myself. I was like, crap, I hit the wrong button.
Gary, there's 2 questions left, Gary.
No, don't do it. Don't do it to me, Ray.
You've got such a big lead. You cannot.
Don't stop talking about it. Let's go.
This is like the last 3 games of last season.
Oh, no.
Gary's going to Newcastle next. Anagram of Arsenal. Actually, I lied. There's 3 anagrams. Anagram of Arsenal. Nilsran, Anulsra, Reslona, Ranlens.
What?
Anagram of Arsenal. 6 correct answers. You're very good.
Yep.
Anulsra. Reslona and Ranlens are out. Gary's smiling.
I'm stressed because I've seen this one.
You've seen this story before.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
seen it
Mr.
happen to
Tom.
me last week.
He dove has just like dove right down the rankings.
He definitely dove.
You know what?
He definitely dove.
You know, he dove now.
Nosedive. Yeah, nosedive.
One coming up. Seal the deal, Gary. Which French
Oh,
league
no.
team has William
Oh,
Saliba
no.
not played for?
Oh no! Oh, I think.
Which
Oh
team?
no! Oh no! Oh no!
Oh, I think I know. I think I know.
Gary, I think you're faking it, Gary.
No, I'm not.
Gary, are
This is
you
a guess.
faking it?
This is a guess. This is a guess. I
I thought
know.
Gary was having a
I think I
hard time.
know two of them, but no,
Right.
I knew. I thought it was between Nice and Rennes.
Yeah,
but
I was. Yeah, I did. I had to choose between
got it
those
wrong,
two
though.
myself. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see
Rennes was
if
the
I got.
answer.
I assume I got caught. Yeah.
As Tony knows he played for Marseille. Tony knows he played for Saint Etienne, and Tony knows he played for Nice. So here's the podium.
Man, can't believe this.
Oh
Third-
man, I haven't finished outside the
Mr.
top
Tom.
three.
Oh, Gary, how did you lose it on the last one?
No, I win.
Oh, sorry. I thought that
I
was
did win it. Everybody that needed to beat me didn't.
I'm rich. I'm rich.
Who was 938080?
It was 938080.
Missed it by 20
You know
points.
yourself.
That's one of those like should I, and you should have.
I believe that was probably Riddy. He might tell us though.
Ah, well done, really.
Mr. Tom.
Well done, mate.
Mr. Tom knew
Close
all
but no
about it.
cigar.
Tom as well. Yeah, well done, guys.
Look at that DWTT at the top there. Yes.
Is that your first win, Gary?
I think so.
Congratulations.
Enjoy the moment, Gary. Enjoy the moment.
Sam's
Yeah,
calling you a
congratulations,
pecker,
Gary.
right?
Congratulations. All right, I guess who was 9838080? Reveal yourself. I think it might have been Riddy, right? Right.
I think
Riddy.
Get down.
I get a win. Man, nice one.
Brady
But it's
doesn't-
in my teeth, man.
Gary
as they
doesn't
say.
care who it was.
Tony, what happened? You dove down to fifth. Excuse
You missed one.
FD, Tony. Let's hear it.
Nope.
Let's hear your
No
excuses.
Xhaka fouled him.
Excuses.
Xhaka fouled him. That's what it was.
All right, Tony. We're going to talk a little bit about the game and get out of here in the next 5 minutes or so, right?
Cool.
So let's have your Don Juan man in the match, and then because I think actually we all agree. I think William Saliba, Matt.
No, I
Yeah.
don't agree.
Yeah.
I don't agree. I don't agree.
Gary agrees.
Of course I do.
William
Of course I
Saliba?
do. It's all right. I do.
All right, then.
William
Tony's going to be controversial.
As I've said, I think Jesus kind of started the ball rolling, and Saliba finished it up and closed it basically with
Hold
the way
on,
he started.
Steven.
He played. So no, Saliba is what I'm happy to give it to him. I mean, I think Jesus, even though he didn't score, I think he provided what we needed as well, and you just don't see it on the stat sheet.
Mr. Tom quietly pleased with third place. He'll take that all day long, you know. All right, Tony. What is your controversial Don Juan man in the match?
It is a French person. It isn't a player. And you did say his name earlier, right? You just have to pronounce it correctly.
It's a player.
You're asking a guy who forgot to hit go live at the beginning of the podcast. My head hurts right now. So.
Nicolas Joubert.
Ah, okay. Yeah. The set
Because
piece
last
coach,
year,
Gary.
we got 8 goals from corners. We
Mhm.
went from 0.15 on XG on set pieces to 0.6. And we got a header. It looked like he's done that with Zinchenko before. Looked like that's happened. Looks like that was a routine thing. Looks like, I don't know how you could get it that perfect if you haven't tried it with him.
So I get accused of moving the goalposts a lot, you know. But you know, you just did that to us. Nicholas, there's that laugh I love to hear. His belly laugh.
I bet you
Can
nobody
I-
gets that one.
Can I just do a controversial comment, please, if you don't mind?
Sure.
I just want to say to Mr. Tom, who's in the chat, I got the score right, 2-1. Well done to Leeds. You played well. And that American lad that you've bought, he has got a turn of pace. And
Aronson.
yeah, and he should have been given that goal, to be honest, I think.
Yeah. And when you Brits are crying in the World Cup, remember this day.
Yeah. The Yanks are coming. The Yanks are coming, right?
Because I think Tyler Adams actually was the pass before the pass. So, watch it.
The thing about Aronson as well, he did not give up for that first goal, the equalizing goal. He did not give up. His tenacity won that ball back, and Rodrigo doesn't get a shot without Aronson doing the same thing. Arsenal don't get a corner without Gabriel Jesus being tenacious and winning a corner. And then we have that set-piece routine, which Wilfried Zaha is a great winger and probably one of the best in the Premier League, but he's not good at marking, obviously.
Hey, we got beat that same way, right? I think it was West Ham where we looked really bad on a free kick, and we just froze and got beat pretty poorly on it. So it happens to the best of them. And
Okay.
Zaha, we laugh at because we love that.
Yeah. He is one of those players we would love him if he was with us, but obviously he's a rival. Yeah, but listen, William Saliba, the rules are kind of you can't pick a non-player, Tony, but you did that anyway. It is called the Tony Don Juan man in the match, so he makes up the rules, Des.
Yeah, you put his
enough.
name on it. You put his name on it, so you
All right.
It is Tony's world sometimes, and we just live in it.
I tell you what, it's a funny bubble to be in, isn't it? You know what I mean?
Got that right.
You never quite know what's going to happen, Des.
No.
It is never dull. It is never dull. So, Des, I'll give you the first go-round on your final thoughts tonight, and thanks for joining us. Hopefully you will be with us again moving forward.
Can I just say it's been absolutely great to talk to you guys about Arsenal. I love talking about Arsenal, and I'm starting to really enjoy talking to you guys. Always glad to be on a show with you, Gary, because the both of us are very educated and talk a lot of sense,
Sometimes with
Hey,
him.
no, do not talk bad about your new guest, all right, Ray?
Talk
And I
about
will.
Gary was
Tony?
just babbling on Thursday, so
Let the man speak. Let the man.
babble
Tony, you've got a lot to say, but not enough time to say it in, so you need to speed up a bit. But other than that, it's been brilliant. Matt, always a pleasure, mate. So,
Likewise,
Ray, thank you for the opportunity, and hope to be back again soon whenever you need me. And it'll be great. Thanks very much.
All right, I have one more question for you, Des, before you go.
Yeah, of course.
Your thoughts on Gani tonight? How did they do?
On who?
I just shipped Gary and Tony together, so that's.
Oh,
Your
well,
thoughts on that
do you know what it is? Do you know what it is? It's like Gary's the big brother of the one that's on, the one that you take for a walk on the reins, the little brother that you take, harness, and you have to pull him back in every now and again because he says something cheeky. Yeah. Gary, are you getting a carer's wage for Tony? Because that's what it feels like.
Nobody's paying me for this. You know what? Now that I think of it, I better put in an application.
Come back.
Yeah, I should.
Apparently didn't watch Thursday show that Ray kept on trying not to win.
Gary, you need to get paid for what you do, all right? And I look forward to. I've got to say, I will look forward to your show tomorrow, mate. I'll be there in spirit and in the chat. So
thank you.
Yeah, but it's been great to be on with you guys, and you are a good group of guys, and I can tell that you love Arsenal, and that's what that matters.
The big thing, as we try to do, is we all have different opinions, and we show them. But we have a bit of fun about it. We have a bit of banter. We do argue, but we.
Don't get me wrong. If I think I'm right, I'll be straight. Rah! Yeah, but I'll say this. Opinions are like belly buttons. To keep it clean, opinions are like belly buttons. Everybody's got one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great to have you on, Des. We'll do it again.
Thank you.
As Stephen said, come back, the enforcer, and we need more enforcing Tony as well.
Don't worry. I'll back Gary up. I'll back Gary up anytime with Tony. That's fine. That's not a problem.
We don't need an enforcer for Gary. He's the
No.
one that's come off the rails.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
Tony, me and Gary have an understanding. Yeah, I don't understand him, and he doesn't understand me. That's why we get on so well.
Well, we're gonna need a little help with Gary as well. Well, Gary, what's your final thoughts, Gary?
Yeah, no, I'm like I said, I'm glad for the 3 points. Looking forward to the next one. I hope we can
Foxes.
not make Leicester City's day by putting a bid on one of their players who they're going to have to sit. He actually looked really good today. Tielemans played pretty well. Hit a long shot that I think the goalkeeper got a hand on. Oh, it hit the post, right, from distance.
Mhm.
So it'd be nice to see him doing that in a red shirt, if that's what's going to
They're
happen.
not going to sell us their player on a week we play him. Come on.
Let me finish. Let Gary talk.
You're probably
There
right.
he goes again. He
Like Gary
pops up
said.
like Saka. He pops up like Saka, doesn't he?
No, but I hope we can get. I think we need 3 or 4 more players. I'm hoping we can get at least 1 or 2 before the end of this month. So it'd be nice. It'd be nice if one of them is going to be from Leicester City. Let's do it quickly so we can move on. But yeah, looking forward to the next weekend's match. And as Des said, I'll be on tomorrow with the crew for the trip. So I hope to see you there. And once again on Thursday again with the crew we got here. So thank you.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you, Gary. Matt, good to have you back from your travels. I think you were here last Sunday, but good to be back.
Yeah, been on the road a little bit the last few weeks, so I've been on my travels. But yeah, it's great to be back. Great to see everyone. Thanks to everyone in the chat. Fantastic as always. Good to see everyone again because it's been a while, like I say. But thanks to you guys as well. Great to see Des on tonight. I've actually really enjoyed having you on.
Cheers, man.
Really,
Cheers.
Great to see the banter you've had between you and Tony. I've particularly enjoyed that tonight. That's been great. And I don't think
All about
Tony's known
banter.
what to do.
Bray, why are you setting a low again?
Look,
You're making a
because
mistake again.
the math works for 66 points. Okay, we want to hit
Yeah.
66 points. And go
66
beyond that.
didn't get us there last year. How many points?
I
did
knew
we get?
you'd have an issue with it. That's why I put it up there. I win.
Really,
3 points, Des, so you understand 3 points is equal to 4.5% of
Yeah.
66 for me.
I get it. Yeah.
1 point will be 1.5%. We compile this percentage as we go through the season, and for me, it just means 3 points, baby. And I'm happy.
Right,
with 3 points.
I'm a silent genius. I don't like to brag.
Good. Well, we'll have to explain things to Tony as we go through the season.
Ray,
I've noticed.
Ray, did 69 points get fourth last season? No, it did not.
All right. Have your final say. You usually say something very profound and something good, so let's have it. And
I can't wait for this.
watch the ticker at the bottom. Get involved. Help Tony out. Let's get him a new peg.
Well, I was going to say this Thursday as the final word, but because Gary kept talking and talking and talking and talking some more, and Stan talking, we didn't have a chance to say final words. But I was going to go.
Let it go.
I was going to go with about only a little informational bit you got for all or nothing. Karen Tierney talking about his mate with his mental health problems.
Yeah.
And it's something everybody needs to sit there and talk about, not be afraid to talk about mental health. You need to be able to talk about it as freely as you do physical health. And just go talk about it. Ask somebody how they're doing. How are you doing? And answer somebody how you're doing. Don't just say, I'm okay if you're not okay. And tell them how you feel. That's it. I'll keep it short.
All right.
If
Cool.
you switch the lights off, would Tony keep going?
Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay.
you take the batteries out the back, the thing still goes.
He gets
Oh,
more.
right. Oh, no way.
He usually,
It's one of those.
By Duracell, Tony.
when you ask him a question, he's got low energy. But when you ask someone else a question, he
Oh,
pipes up.
I've noticed. Yeah.
3 points, baby. Listen, I'll say that every time we get 3 points. I'll say that, especially when we go
3
on the road.
points, baby.
Yeah.
Come on, you Gunners.
I will say Thursday night we'll be previewing the Leicester game, but there will be a documentary which will spark some conversation.
Hopefully not 45 minutes worth again.
No, but at least we'll be thin on the ground, so we might be able to devote more time to that. You know what I mean? As I always say,
Gary, he only says what he says because he's jealous. That's all it is.
I
I
know.
want to say thanks
I'm
to
gonna start
everyone.
calling Gary Babylon instead of
I want
Morty.
to thank everyone for joining Arsenal Fan Circle tonight. They pulled up a chair. Thanks for joining us,
Yeah,
everyone.
nice work,
And
Stephen OT.
Gary's
Tony.
going on a trip tomorrow with Tony,
Going on
and that's dangerous. So.
Going on a trip.
Make sure you got a flask. Make sure he's got his vest on, Gary. Yeah, the flask and some sandwiches. Yeah.
He's been wearing that shirt a little bit too much, Gary. So make sure he wears it.
No, dude, just switch it up, man. His laundry day. Come on.
All right. Hey,
I can see that spaghetti stain, Tony, wherever that is on your thing. Whatever you've been eating.
Soon you're gonna have to get the English version of it. So
See,
then we
now,
won't have to
since
ask.
Matt brought up spaghetti, we have to. What
yes,
do you have
quick,
for dinner
Matt.
Oh,
What's
that's
for
right.
dinner?
It is the end of the show. Come
Sunday
on, Matt.
roast today. I got crucified last week for having pizza, so I did have a roast dinner today. So I've got it. The world is back to right again. It is correct. It's Sunday. I had a roast dinner. Everything is back to normal.
The world
It's
is
all
back.
good, people.
Great. Great to have you back, Matt. Gary, Tony, always good to see you. And Des, first time debutante.
Thank you.
Your Arsenal fan circle career started and coincided with William Saliba's debut for Arsenal,
Absolutely.
so it's not a bad thing.
I couldn't have timed it better, really.
Couldn't have timed it better, exactly. All right, Tony, say goodnight to everyone.
Good night, Tony.
We'll see you all Thursday, and 3 points.